Okay, a small video just to show where the water gets in below the windscreen on a Vivaro, Renault Trafic and Nissan, which eventually gets down onto the top of the head and causes the problems with injectors seizing in the head. Basically, it's pretty simple. I've stripped the plastic scuttle panel off. It's a relatively easy job. And what you then see is this metal scuttle panel here, which is basically bolted to the bulkhead of the van through various points here and here. The windscreen wiper motor is connected to it on here, which I've undone. There's a little nut that fixes it to this air box here. So basically what happens is it's a bit of poor design, maybe not so much design but application. As the rain runs off the windscreen here, what it does is it's supposed to go straight onto this deflector plate here, and this ends up draining out through these holes here. Now all that seals this metal scuttle to this bulkhead here is, if I just whiz this off, excuse the wobbly cam, I'm trying to do it one-handed, you can see on the back here that there's a foam seal, and basically that is all that stops the water from leaking down between the two. Now as you can see on mine, you can just see those watermarks there. It's leaked particularly in the middle, and if I go up onto the van, you should be able to see that it's nice, shiny. Here is nice and shiny, and as we come along to here, look, you can see where the seal has started to break down, and then as we get to this bit here, you can obviously see that water has been travelling through there, and then when we get back to there, sorry about the quality, it's back to shiny silver again. So obviously the water basically drips down through here, sort of goes into this air duct here, onto the top of the box, air box, and then down, unfortunately, where it starts to do its nasty work. Now fortunately my van has been garaged every night since I've had it, so I've had that little cap, this cover over here, which was put on afterwards to try and keep the water out of the top of the head. Fortunately there's no water in mine, so I'm pleased about that. What I'm basically going to do here, after reading all these awful horror stories about seized injectors and massive costs involved in fixing them, is I'm basically going to clean all this up, and probably this foam seal here, as you can see there, it's not, sorry about the quality, what I should do there is probably go to Screwfix or something like that and buy a P-shaped or similar foam draft excluder, clean all that up and stick that back on there, and then when I put this back on, what I shall probably do is run a bead of silicone onto here first, and then push that onto it there, and I may even, when it's finished, run a bead of silicone all the way in the top there. If you're making a neat job of it, it'll look neat and tidy, but the scuttle panel does, as you can see, go over to there anyway. So I don't know if this helps anyone in giving a bit of understanding as to basically why this awful problem exists on these engines when it comes to, you know, water ingress. I understand that it can get into the ECUs and the airbox, and I don't know whether it's the water sitting on top of the injectors that causes them to fail in the first place, so it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy in that respect. But I hope this helps someone at least understand where the problem is, and maybe even give you an idea of what you can do to fix it. Certainly I've had this van 7 years, and if I was going to buy a new one, which I may well do, the last of these, this is been superseded by the new model now, and this van has been so good, I may well buy a last of the current model. If I was buying a brand new one of these, the first job I would do would be to strip all this down and seal that before I did a single mile in it. But anyway, hope this helps someone. Cheers.